All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus. Yeah.
Happy 2025, family.
Yeah, that's a lot of 20s.
It is.
Dude, welcome back, everybody. This is our first episode for the new year, 2025.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's been a while. It's been like, I would say over a month.
Yeah, I gotta get back. Gotta get back into the groove of things. I was like, oh, I feel kind of weird.
Yeah, same here. I was about to be lazy, be like, hey, can we do it next week? But I was like, I was like, nah, we gotta do it because I do miss doing the show.
Yeah.
I'd be doing podcasts like on the drive to work. I'd be talking like out loud in the car, like doing a whole show. Yeah, no, I do it like out loud.
Oh damn, well, that's the best way to do it.
Talking about topics and shit, and then answering myself too. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, how did you think of that? I was like, I don't know. I just thought of it like that. And then I was like, I sound crazy right now. And then another voice like, you don't sound crazy. You're just being you. I was like, okay, let me just be quiet. Go to work. That's when it gets real crazy.
I'm at a point right now. If you don't talk to yourself, I think you're the one that's crazy. If you don't learn how to like talk to yourself,
the voices in your head. Is it really you? The voices?
Or is it you from another world?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think of that. The voice in my head thought about that.
I saw a meme the other day. It's like, you ever like read a book or read a page of something and then realize you didn't read it all? You're like, well, how did I saw these words, but my brain wasn't connected. That's happened to me a lot.
It's crazy.
I read a paragraph and I'm like, wait, what the hell did I just read? Was I even paying attention?
Not at all. All right, it's been about a month, and a lot of things happened like during our off time, which is why we needed a lot more time to take off. Like a lot of serious stuff happened. I don't know if Chris want to talk about it. Up to him.
I won't go into too much detail, but my father wound up passing away when I came back home for the holidays. He passed away December 29th, like 11:20 something in that night. Well, he was pronounced passed away at December 30th, actually, but December 29th is when everything all went down. Crazy
right before
shit,
the new year. That's wild.
Right before the new year, man. It was bonkers. It was a horrifying experience. I was there for it. It was crazy. I had to do CPR on him and everything. It was a lot.
That's crazy. And you literally just got back home like just a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I got back. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I got back like Monday afternoon or something like that. Monday night.
Damn. So you were out here for a good minute doing all of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this whole time. Man. So it feels weird being back, and I'm like, my anxiety is like at an all-time high right now because I only have one parent left now, so I'm like always constantly worried about my mom, if she's okay and all that. So, but we had a lot of good talks, and then before I left, and let her know like, hey, if she had any issues health-wise or other, she'll let me know in a heartbeat. Because sometimes parents want to be like, well, I don't want to tell my kids because I want to scare them, but shit, you need to prepare us so we know how to move. What's worse is that when we find out and the shit's already, we can't do nothing about it. So
right.
Yeah, so it was crazy, but it was a beautiful service they gave my dad. A very beautiful service, perfect send off for him. A lot of ways I kind of had to cope with it because it was just hurt so much. Was that he passed away at home in the living room,
right?
Because he was on home care, and that was something that my dad always wanted. Like I'm not so much the fact that how he passed away, because people pass away in far worse ways than what my father passed away as. He passed away at home, downstairs in the living room, and home care. And, so he was in the bed, and my mom was taking care of him. So he always said if he had to go out anywhere in the world, he wouldn't be at home. Which I'm starting to realize, like a lot of people I'm in the hospital who are like dying, will always say the same thing, like, please let me just go home. I'm not gonna make it. Just let me go home and be with my family. I don't want to die in the same hospital.
Man, I was actually thinking about that too, because of how recent it happened. Like right when your dad got to the house, and then how recent it happened. I was like, maybe he was holding on the whole time.
That's what some people were telling me too. Like maybe he was just holding on because he was fighting for so long. Cause he was in the hospital for 108 days, and then after
That's crazy.
After 113 days after he had his stroke, he wound up passing away. So then it was crazy as hell, man. But I just like I'm not so much the fact that he passed away. It's just it was too soon for me. If he was like, I'd have been more comfortable at like 76, 86. I mean, it still would hurt regardless, but 66, you still got room to live. So But he went out the way he wanted to go out though, too, at home with the family. So it was peaceful. It was a peaceful send off. If anything, if I was like I kind of take away from it, it helps me sleep better at night knowing that just
Yeah,
around that same time that dude in New Orleans drove in that crowd and killed all the people, start shooting and
right.
stuff.
That's
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 awful way to lose somebody.
dramatic.
Awful.
Yeah, that's
Trauma,
rough.
trauma. All right, so I feel like I'm fortunate for him to pass away the way he did. It hurts, but hell of a lot worse ways you can leave this world. So
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that's rough.
hell yeah,
Rough way to start the year.
man, hell yeah, shit.
You think you can move left a little bit? Just a tiny
Ooh,
bit.
this left
No, the
or
other
this
left.
way?
Yeah, yeah, other left. Just tiny bit more. My OCD kicked in.
Like
Just
too
a
many
little
seconds.
smidge. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good enough.
Okay,
All right, we
yes,
ready to start this topic for the new year?
let's get it.
Episode 209. Let's go, guys. All right, so recently, about a month ago, I discovered this new podcast. It's called the Telepathy Tapes, where this lady named Kai Dickens, she's like a filmmaker, storyteller. She focuses on kids with autism, but she's focusing on their communication through telepathy, through the mind, speaking through the mind.
Okay,
And a lot of these individuals, like these kids with autism, right? These non speakers, there's been stories about these kids for a long time now, maybe since the damn 40s, where teachers, parents, professors, doctors, they all claim, like, hey, these kids can speak, like, through their minds. But, like, if a doctor said, hey, this kid, I think this kid got telepathy, no one's going to be like, oh, you're onto something, doctor. That doctor probably lose their license talking about that.
man, hell
So
yeah.
they kept it on the low, like hush hush. So like up until now, where they're doing like real research and then putting it out in the public, and I think put the podcast probably like blew this whole shit up. Like there's no secret now. Like these kids with autism, they're able to communicate telepathy like with the parents, teachers, doctors, like through their minds and blowing everybody's minds.
Mm, it's getting in
Yeah,
deeper now.
like what do you think about that? Like off the bat, like do you believe that humans are capable of speaking like through telepathy?
From somebody who like has been reading comic books and is a fan of the superhero genre my entire life since I was like 4 or 5, I always felt like the most out of all the crazy powers you see superheroes do. I always felt like maybe stuff with the mind will be probably the closest thing you could get to having like an actual power. You can't be like shooting fire out of your hands and beams out of your eyes and stuff. I mean that's way far out there. But as far as like the mind, I always felt like on some level. Um, that would be the most likely case for a person to be able to experience any type of like supernatural abilities or move things with their minds or read minds or whatever. Maybe even see into the future, remote viewing, stuff like that. That's why I think that's why the with the CIA and everyone else was trying to like harness that ability with MK Ultra and whatnot. Because I think on some level the human mind, because the brain is so complex, scientists really can't explain how even where consciousness come from. So it's like it's so far out there that I can see the mind.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain it, right?
Yeah, because there's been times too where like I've had dreams when I was younger, even maybe as an adult, where I would have like a dream about something that's gonna happen, and either the next day or a week later, I'm like, oh my god, I had a dream about this. Like, how can I explain that? If I, like, so I can see on some level why it would be hard for a scientist to try to explain it because
Yeah, because there's like no way
how
to back it up unless you're doing like some serious ass research, which like
right.
a lot of if you're doing a telepathy research, right, there's not a lot of funding behind that because the government or whatever, they're not going to fund that because it's like, oh, this is bullshit. Why would I give you guys hundreds of thousands of dollars to do research for people that can speak through their minds? It sounds bogus, right?
Hell yeah.
So like up until now, like now they're doing really serious research on this whole non-speakers able to communicate through telepathy. We'll go to this one story in Mexico. There's this girl named Mia, right? The girl, she can't speak or anything. The parents, they start noticing like, hey, like how does our daughter know like some of the stuff that she's not supposed to know? You know, like
Mm-hmm.
they would put like chips in her backpack, but she already knew there was chips in her backpack. So like,
Mm-hmm.
like parents like, is our daughter's in her head? Like we're so confused right now. So like they got like their daughter like an iPad, right? And then the daughter, they push words on the iPad to let them
Mm-hmm.
speak. And the daughter said like she can read their minds, and she said she can read their minds like ever since she was in the womb, like in her stomach,
Oh.
her mom's stomach. And
Mm.
then she was like, yeah, I could read your minds ever since I was in the womb. And then she told the mom, she was like, I don't like being put in dresses. Like, stop dressing me up. Because she got autism. Like, she don't really have her
Right.
functions. And they dress her up to put earrings on her to make her look like a girl. She's like, I don't like that, mom. Like, stop doing that to me.
Mm.
So, like, the lady, Kai, I think that's her name. She went to go do the study with the girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, all right, we're gonna fly you to America, and we're gonna do this test like at a house. They did a B&B at a house, and they controlled everything, so nobody could, fake anything, when they're doing
Right.
the testing. So they rented the house out. They block all the mirrors, all the windows. They block all the TVs because they want to make sure this is bulletproof. Like no one's cheating, no one's like tapping on the desk like SOS codes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just for to verify, like legit, because the parents like they're not trying to make money off their kids. Like
Right.
the parents just want to validate, like, hey, like, is our child special like this? Like, can't she get in our minds? So
Mm.
so then they started the test, right? They gave her like the iPad, and then there's cameras everywhere. I think they have like a documentary in this, like somewhere on YouTube. They have cameras everywhere, and then they blindfolded her, right? They picked the number, and the first number was 698. So she typed 698, like on the iPad. After they took the blindfolds off and stuff, and they're like, holy shit, she got it right. So
Mm.
everybody acted calm. Like the family's like, no big deal.
Lucky
She do
guess.
this all the time.
Lucky guess.
Yeah. But then like the lady evaluating the test, she starts to like freak out a little. Like it's like, oh, maybe that's lucky. But let's give her another numbers. And she's like, all right, let's do 956. She got 956 right. She got it right. They did 20 more tests. She got them all right. This is 100% now. 100% accuracy. So the lady doing the test, she's like, what the fuck? Like, like now you just have to say, like, okay, they're not cheating, but what's actually happening now? Like, is she reading minds or what,
Yeah,
So
it's like
then,
because I'm
like,
seeing.
huh?
Oh, that's. I'm gonna say something like I'm wondering if it's like she's seeing what they're seeing, or like oh the people that's reading it, seeing it, storing it in their minds, and she's just getting in there and taking it up.
Woo, yeah. That's what I would have been thinking too. Because I
Mm.
was like, what the hell? Is she in their heads? So they're like, all right, the next test, let's do a color test. So there's like 3 different popsicle sticks where she needs to match all the colors. Blindfold, and she got it all 100% accuracy right. Pick all the colors, she matched the popsicle stick and everything with the right color. So the
Wow.
conductor asked, like, she's like, can you see through your mother's eyes? And
Mm.
she was like, no, I can see everywhere. Like she can see everything in their surrounding.
That's even scarier than her saying yes. I can see through my mother's eyes. That's even crazier.
That's scary too. And then imagine
Yeah.
seeing like their thoughts. I would
Man,
not like that.
you people think the
Where's the
craziest
privacy?
shit,
You know?
right?
Like
Right.
get out of my head. I
It's
don't
like in
like
a
midgets. Like it's weird shit.
wait. I love midgets. I love them too
Get
much.
out of my head. Yeah. So then they did a test like with the books. They did a bunch of tests on this girl. She was just the first one. And
Mm.
then the conductor, she would point at a random word in the book. Like she go through the pages, like stop at a page, point at a word, and then she would hit the correct word. It'd be like
Mm.
horse, pirate. But remember, she's from Mexico, so she speaks in Spanish. So she spells like the word horse in Spanish.
Right, right, right.
She spells pirate in Spanish, and then they're like, okay, like she's getting everything 100% right. She definitely has some type of gift that they just don't understand yet. Like it's not. There's no science that said that there's proof that telepathy exists, like legit, you know.
Right.
And my ear just started ringing too, like right when I said that.
Uh-oh.
Because they might be in my head right now, you know. Because like, you know, when I was listening to the telepathy tapes, I listened to it twice to actually try to get this whole shit. And dude, it's so deep because a lot of people don't know this. Like people that has kids with autism, they don't even know like their own kids could be capable of having like these incredible gifts.
Right.
Like way smarter than what they even think. You know, because like the teachers, doctors, like, hey, your kid, he'll never be able to read, write, or do anything like normally.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they find out in their head, like what's actually in their head, they're like, holy shit, they're way more advanced than us. We're the ones that's kind of like our gifts has been locked down. It's almost like you get the gift, but then you have to sacrifice like your bodily functions or whatever, like how like speaking or moving. But you get the gifts, like you get the whole brain, but your body can't handle it.
There's like this guy I used to work for, like one of my old supervisors when I used to work retail. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but he had a son who was autistic. And he always talked about how his son, he always wore like, no matter what the weather was, he always wore like a heavy jacket and gloves. He didn't like his hands.
Yeah.
He didn't like his regular hands touching anything. And, but when it came to like video game stuff, he can show you where glitches were at and everything, where they messed up the rendering or what I don't know what you want to call it, but he was able to pick out games.
Yeah.
Man, that us, you know, people that we are the way we are, I won't say normal, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the average person, rather, like we don't experience that at all. Could barely even see it. But he's able to like see things in video games. He's like, oh yeah, that's right there. They messed up right there, and then this is a spot right here. Da, 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 da. He's like his son just could see all this stuff. But as far as like in social settings, it's like he doesn't have the functions to be in a social setting like that. So maybe that's like I don't know. I want to like actually think of it as like maybe a trade off, but maybe a side effect of his ability. like well, he may be able to. Yeah, I'm not gonna say exactly communicate with machines per se, but how he can't function in a social setting, but when it comes to machines, he has more of a better relationship with that than he could like another human. Right. Does that make sense? Like the boy Micah from Heroes, who can like touch ATM machine and money comes shooting out.
Yeah.
Technomancy, whatever the hell they call it. They just control machines in a weird way.
Basically like speaking to like machines. Because machines, they speak to each other. And then imagine you got the gift, you can actually speak to machines.
Like, oh, I could see this. I could see.
Tell me where it hurts, PC. You know. Instead of us like trying to diagnose it, like trying to figure out the problem, like just tell me where it hurts.
Tell me where it hurts. Does this hurt? Oh, there it is.
Okay, it's like so later, Mia, right? They did the whole test like with the mom, so they're like, okay, let's test this with the father. So, they did the test with the dad, right? And Mia, she said she couldn't get anything from the dad. It's like that she was locked off. She's like she couldn't read the dad's mind, so it didn't work at all with the dad. The dad would pick these words out. She couldn't get it right at all. And they're like, that's weird. And then later, Mia, she wrote in her diary, like for people to read. She said she could read everybody's minds, like, but you just gotta believe it. Like you gotta not just believe her, but believe like it's possible. And then it's almost like you're allowed to see like this other side of reality. Like you just gotta believe it. If you don't believe it, you'll never even touch that side of reality. Like that'll be locked off to you forever. Like if you believe it's woo woo, like good, because we don't need people that don't believe in nothing in our world. Right? It's like, okay, cool. You don't want to be here. Cool. Stay on the outside. We keep our stuff for the people that's open minded and stuff.
Right. Who's willing to understand this?
And I believe that too, man. And shit, you can break any scientist when they first see you for the first time. They'll be on their knees like, I don't understand anymore.
The science is wrong.
My ankle's broke. I don't get it. Yeah, so like my theory with the whole thing with the dad. Another thing is I think he blocked his own thoughts because he believes so bad like his daughter can't do that. So he blocked the daughter from even seeing his thoughts. Like he did it subconsciously. Like it's like, yeah, bullshit. My daughter can read my mind. It's like, nope. She couldn't read his mind. And he was like, see, told you, my daughter's not special. Like, get out of here. Yeah, we need people like
Oh.
that.
So the daughter couldn't read his mind, and he's basically just like a locked door. And was this doing like so? The father was like doing a test, and then she tried to read his mind. It's like, well, I can't see it now because he's locked me out. As it's like
She didn't say he locked out, but she said she just can't read any of his like words that he picked. Like she couldn't pinpoint, like everything was wrong. She was just guessing, and she was like, I just can't read his mind. Sorry guys, like I just can't.
bunch of static.
Yeah, this dude I can't read him. He's probably a psychopath. I think psychopaths are hard to read. Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like the people like you wouldn't expect like to do like a mass killing. You'd be like, holy shit, I would never imagine. Those people are scary. The people you can't read.
Deep inside the psyche.
Yeah.
And this is Batman comic book I read some years ago, and it's a story about how Batman actually has like a backup split personality. So if he ever gets compromised, like, oh man, somebody like a psychic person gets into his head, he'll go to his secondary personality, which would then completely block out the other personality, and then you can't even read his mind no more because now he's a crazy person. He's a crazy lunatic, and you can't read his mind because everything's like just scrambled up. So it might be that you can't read a crazy.
Yeah, it's like the whole split personality thing, where they say some people that have more than one different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one case, I don't know how true it is, but one of his personalities have diabetes and the rest of them don't. So when the person tapped into like the person with diabetes, they did a test on him, right? Test positive for diabetes. But when he switched over to a different personality, he was clean of all of that.
I've heard of this story.
Positive for diabetes. So it's like, what the hell's like? Is this really that strong in the brain? So it's confusing. And then he switched to a different personality, and he didn't have diabetes either. It's only when he switched to that one person, and then he had like all these medical issues and shit. It's weird, dude.
I think I've heard of something like, not exactly this story, but I think I've heard of it before, where somebody they show symptoms of something,
yeah,
and then second person that kicks in is like, oh shit, right. They don't have it,
dude. there's another one where one personality was actually blind.
Oh my god!
And then another one could see, and I was like, what? Is this made up, or is this really like the power of like the mind? Because remember that what's that movie, the one with Shyamalan, where that person had different personalities, and one personality was like the beast, and he could climb walls. Split. Yeah. It's like that, dude.
Damn.
I that's a real thing, man. That's why they say like be careful like what you think of, dude, because whatever you think of could become your reality. Like if you think like, oh yeah, I'm all sick all the time, like you're probably gonna end up being really sick.
Right. I think the one I heard may have been about this woman. It wasn't so much she had diabetes. I think she was like allergies.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
That's one person had allergies, and then she didn't. I think that's the story I might be remembering. But I've heard that before. It's like, how does the brain even? We will never figure out how this brain works. Not anytime soon. Anyway, it's too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe another 10 years. Because like you know, the whole thing with this telepathy tapes. Like if they take it way more serious, like if they actually talk about this on Joe Rogan podcast, but this shit like, you know, to the masses, and then the right people will get in and put the money where it's supposed to go and research as much as you can, because there's a bunch of kids with autism where the parents, they have no idea like how locked up their children is, you know?
I'm not here, take this medication.
Yeah, and then dude, we could free them from, you know, like from not being able to speak. To like, dude, your children is trapped in their own minds, and we can free them. Give them a voice, you know. They'll tell you how they really feel. Get that dress off me, big dog.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like beep. Get that piercing off my beep. But sorry guys. So next story. So the lady, she got another case in Jersey. She flew out to Jersey. She met a kid named Akil. He was diagnosed at 18 months with autism. The doctor said he would never speak. Teachers in multiple schools said he wasn't capable of learning or understanding words and numbers. the mom, she got super disappointed in the teachers and the doctors because she believed that her son is capable of doing all that. It's like, my son can read, he can write, he can have like a, like a smart conversation with anybody. So like later, on the iPad, they have these apps for kids with autism. They make it really easy for kids that can't speak to communicate like with their parents, because they have these big old words and they click the word and then it's the next best word that, instead of just typing, it's like completing your sentence. It's like predictive sentence something. I don't know what you call that.
Kind of like how when we text and they kind of like
right. They're like, did you mean this? Sure.
Sure.
So so they did the test on him, right? The lady, she was writing like they did a test where she just wrote random animal names, and he was like, tiger, correct? She got it right. Then they did all these animal names and whatever, cars, houses, got it all right. Then like it got to the point where before she even finished writing, like he yelled out the word. So like he can speak a little bit, but he just can't really speak. But if he wants to say something, he'll just yell it out, and you'll hear from across the hallway. So that's when the lady is like, okay, I think this kid is communicating through telepathy, And then he was asking her, like, he was like, hey, how come you guys have to speak with your mouths? Like, why can't you guys talk through your heads? She's like, well, we don't know how to do that. And it's like that's crazy. It's like, you guys are doing it the hard way. It's like, we can communicate instantly, like, through our heads, and it's so much easier. And she's like, yeah, you're right, big dog. Like, it would be nice if you could just be in my head and just,
crawl through it.
Have a whole conversation in like a second.
And it'd be cheaper than a phone bill.
Yeah.
Much cheaper.
Don't have to waste your breath.
Right.
Yeah, and it's easier too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I can't explain by talking, but I was like, if you could just jump in my head for a little bit, you know what I'm talking about. It's just so hard to say it.
It's like, damn, hop in my brain right quick. I'll give you an image.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Jump in there. It's like, oh, okay.
Or you'd be like, damn, this is a song I can't think of right now. Come on, get in my head right quick. I'm singing it, but I don't know who sings it. See, okay.
Yeah. Well, I would think like it's a whole lot easier if you could just be in somebody's head. But, like, it would be like at the expense of them getting into your thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit, like, I found that song, but I found a lot of other dark shit, Chris. What the heck? What is all this?
What were you doing last night?
What kind of leather couch is this? What are we doing?
Why is it so cold?
Ew, sticky.
That's like in the X-Men comic books, man. When you got people like Professor X and like Jean Grey and stuff, because they're like such powerful, like deal with like so powerful like with telepathy. There's like a rule amongst the psychic community in the X-Men house. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you can't read nobody's thoughts. That is a complete violation of everything. You can move shit with your mind or whatever, but you can't creep through anybody's thoughts. Because, man, look, give people their privacy.
Like a violation, right?
Straight up.
Like, you broke the rules. I think you should be like, you cannot use telepathy for like a year. If you go through somebody's thoughts without permission, you're definitely locked out. Yeah, you get locked out. Like, nope, sorry, you can't even go in your head. You don't got permission. Yeah. That shit's guarded by like aliens.
Mm-hmm. Clank, clank.
Yeah. It's just like people, they take mushroom trips. Like, I'm gonna get in your head. No, you're not. You're not. I tried. I got blocked by aliens. They're like this. No. It's like, what the hell? So I got fake permission,
Right. Look, man. Like, look, laws exist in every reality.
It exists in every reality, dude.
I don't care where you go.
I gotta take a quick break real quick. We come back. We're gonna talk about this kid from Georgia out here.
Ew.
All right, be right back, guys. All right, next story or next kid that we're gonna be talking about. His name is Houston. He lives in Georgia, and him and a whole bunch of other kids in the neighborhood in Georgia. They all have autism, and they're all friends. This is gonna be this is a really good story, because this one it blew my mind on the level of telepathy that these kids are going through. because it's something we don't even know about. So this is a whole new thing. All right, so this kid named Houston, he liked to collect stones, like crystals, like the one I have back here, the amethyst and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. He liked to collect stones. So one day, and there's a story behind it, and I'm gonna talk about that. So the mom, one day, her friend gave her 3 different type of stones, right? And the mom, she's like, I'm Christian. I don't believe in power of these stones. Like, why are you giving me these crystals? But she just accepted the crystal. She's like, sure, okay, it's not gonna harm anybody. I'm just gonna take it. So she take the stones home, right? And before she took the stones home, the friend is like, hey, I prayed over these stones for you. I put all these positive energy onto the stones for you, specifically for you. So, like, take care of them. And the mom was like, yeah, okay. But, she wasn't thinking, like, all right, like, it's just woo-woo stuff. Mm-hmm. So she take the stones home, right? So after she took the stones home, like, later in that same day, she heard a big, like, a big bang, like, at the door. Like, the bathroom door slammed open. Mm-hmm. And nobody was there. So the mom was like, what the hell was that? Like, anybody else hear that? So she's like, okay, like, whatever. So then, like, later, her son, Houston, he was just yelling out, stone, stone, stone. And the mom was like, what stone? He's like, stone, stone. And the mom was like, here, take the stones, take it. I don't even like it. Take the stones. Get the shot here. So he took the stones, right? So then he got on the iPad, and Houston, he started spelling on the iPad. He says, when you're autistic, you're a magnet for all good and bad energy. And he said that the stone that she got has a lot of good energy. This is why he wanted the stones. So the mom was like, okay, cool story, bro. Keep the stones. So the mom, like, later, she didn't think nothing of it, right? She has another son, which is normal, quotation normal. And she bought him some dices because he's into, I guess, board games. So she bought him dices. Little did she know, those dices were made of stones. So the mom, it was like a birthday present or a gift or something. So she wrapped it up and then she hid it in the house so the other son couldn't see it. Houston, you know how he was saying his like a magnet to like energy and shit? Yeah, he found the stones that she hid, and he took the damn stones and unwrapped it, kept the dices for himself. He's like, found it, my stones.
Ain't mine now.
Yeah, it's mine. And then, long story short, this is how he started his whole stone collection.
Okay.
And yeah, that makes you wonder, like, because I have a lot of stones too, and what people say, like, if you want to erase like the memory on a stone, you would light like sage, and you would go around the stone, and it deletes like the memory on the stone. I was like, so like every stone that I did bought like from like a convention or whatever online, I would sage all of them, just delete the whole energy, and then I would take it out. I don't know if I'm praying over it, but I'm like, I just put positive energy on it, and then I'll leave it like on like next to my bed frame,
right,
or right behind me. But yeah, dude, I believe that. I believe that these stones, they carry energy, because if you think about it, everything in electronics, all the memories that's stored is stored in little pieces of stone, like a crystal quartz. Everything, the cell phone, the computer, everything. There's stones and all that shit. Yeah, then imagine a big ass stone, big crystal quartz that has like the knowledge of the universe.
Right.
Yeah, or the knowledge of something that's really dark, right?
All right. And then imagine being able to tap into this if you're autistic. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's like a power surge, like you're getting shocked and shit, because it's like, oh shit, it's too much energy. Really? I cannot control this.
It reminds me of a show that came out in the mid 2000s. It was called Alphas. It was this government program where they had like 5 people with like supernatural abilities all on one team to solve other supernatural crimes. You know, I think they was like tasked by the FBI or something. But my favorite character in the show, his name was Gary, who was autistic, and he could see radio waves and communicate with radio waves, and he could manipulate the internet and the way it was wild. But he was extremely on a spectrum and then was horrible in social settings, but he could see radio waves and just manipulate radio waves he could like send radio waves to like somebody's radio cell phone, make him answer it, and then have it sound like whoever the hell he wants it to sound like.
Wow.
Crazy. Yes. So he was good with machines and stuff.
Dude, that could be real too. Because there's like some stories where people said like, you know, after like somebody close to them pass away, they get a phone call, they hear their voice, but it's like it end up cutting out and like, what the hell? Like I heard his voice. Like that's so weird. Like he called me, but it was nobody on his voice, and you know he passed out. He passed away a week ago or whatever.
Got a call from an unknown number.
Yeah, that's scary. Like, and nobody would believe you even if you tell that story, because even me saying that story now, it sounds crazy. Like, what did you? Yeah, I made it up.
That was like the movie, right? Yeah, I made that shit up. That was the movie Black Phone, where that guy was kidnapping kids. Like, hey, like I talked to somebody on the other side, but I can't hear it now that I'm an adult. I need a kid that could talk to this phone, to talk to the ghosts on the other side, or something crazy.
Yeah,
I can definitely see where kids would be the most influential. Because the older you get, I don't know, it's the food that cuts you off from the source, or what we put in our body, or how we think mentally. But as older you get, we get cut away from the source. So a child would be the perfect tool.
I think it's definitely the food.
Man, hell yeah.
The food and the alcohol, the drugs, all of it.
Everything.
That's blocking you off from what we're capable of, like our gifts that should have been put in the back seat, because we're like, the front seat is more exciting.
It is. Back seat's kind of like, I mean, if you're cool with a back seat, it's safer, but is it more fun?
Who knows, right?
That's like back in the day when it was like, just smoking psychedelics, and that's the only thing they really did, and maybe drink every now and again, but they wouldn't eat like no processed foods and stuff like that. So they still had connection to the earth and talk to gods and stuff. Now we're just kind of like, God who? Like, what?
Yeah, they're not tainted by the pollutions of what we're going through.
For real.
All right, so this kid Houston, right, the kid with the rocks. So doctor said that he was unable to learn, but he was telling the mom all these knowledge that he learned about history and spirituality, right? Mm-hmm. The mom was like, you know, for somebody who's not even like learning on the computer or reading books about stuff like that, like how do you know stuff about that? And you know what he told his mom, he said, hey mom, I can read thoughts. And she said, the mom was like, that's bullshit. Like literally, that's bullshit shit, son. Like you can read thoughts, like get out of my face with that. And he said you don't get these gifts if you lie. The mom's like, oh, okay, big dog.
Okay.
So like the mom, she then called her daughter, and she said, hey, guess what? Your brother Houston, he can read thoughts. The daughter's like, no, he can't, mom. Like send me something to prove it then. Like if you think like Houston can read thoughts. So the daughter, so they did like a little test, right? So the daughter, she told her husband, because they're all grown now, she told her husband to send a random text like to the mom, and they block like the words and shit. And this is a text from the husband, so only the husband know the words and the mom know the words, and I guess the daughter know the words. So they're like, all right, tell Houston to guess these words that my husband just wrote. He guessed the words exactly right, and they're like, holy shit, impossible.
Demon baby.
Yeah, it's like impossible. So then the mom was like, holy shit, like she's like, how long have you been able to read our thoughts? And he was like, since the beginning, from when I was able to see you guys and everything, like. And then like he knew the thoughts from the beginning, since he was a baby. Everybody thought in the whole house. And this is when, like, you know, because they did a whole bunch of other tests, and the mom believes it now, right?
Right.
So when he said he knew everybody's thoughts from the beginning, the mom started feeling a lot of guilt, because the mom, her thoughts were all negative about kids with autism. Like she hated that shit. She's like, she wished it never existed. Like she had a lot of negative thoughts about autism, and she's like, my son must think I'm a horrible person because I had all these negative thoughts of people with autism. And, you know, she felt all that guilt. She's like, damn, it's like my son, like I let my own son down because I didn't, because I hate it so much. Like I hate that my son has autism. So like she felt like really bad about all that shit. But like the crazy thing about this whole thing, right? Like Houston, he had to hold a lot of the private thoughts in also. Like not only like the mom personal thoughts. The mom had an ex-boyfriend, right? That used to live with them. And this guy was violent. He was abusive. He knew everything that dude was doing to his mom. But the one thing that the mom didn't know that Houston put on the map was that her ex-boyfriend abused one of the other family members sexually. And the mom didn't even know that.
Damn.
So the ex-boyfriend did some bad things to like the other family members. And she didn't even know that.
Yeah, and how can you explain this to your mom? They'd be like, "Oh man, I can't."
Yeah, the crazy thing is he had to hold it all in because at this point, right? Like Houston wasn't able to speak at all. Like they didn't have the iPad to pick the words and stuff. But now they have all the iPad to pick the words, and now they're like, "Holy shit, he knew all that," and then stuff that they didn't even know. That's just crazy. So the mom, she's like, "Damn, man."
I was thinking about this the other day. People that like how many people back in the day before modern science stepped in and be like, "Hey, humans, these people aren't crazy. There's the autistic. How many of them got sent to like insane asylums and had like lobotomies performed on them, all because they thought there was like a demon in them or something because they weren't considered normal."
Right, dude.
There's man, and like, no, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, I see ghosts. Like, no, please listen to me.
Cut his head off.
Right, man. That was killing you just for like having a different opinion back in the day. Shit, let alone like if you was they've killed people back in the day. It was like, look, guys, we revolve around the sun. Those are stars. Oh my God, he's a witch. Kill him. What are you talking about? Orion's belt. You gotta instantly die.
And the crazy thing about it, I think till this day, there's still countries out there where, like, if you have a child who has like slight autism or something, where they say like, oh yeah, they're not gonna be able to contribute to society, able to learn or anything. They're basically useless. They would terminate that child.
Hell yeah.
Till this day, like basically instantly. And dude, that's freaking crazy, man. Because like this whole thing.
What if they can save us?
Huh?
So what if they can save us from ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Something.
Dude, they can save us. They can save humanity from like the hole that we're entering right now. And dude, that make me think about this one movie. You ever seen Dune?
Yeah, the movie's good. I like the movie.
Yeah, there's this one scene where it really caught my attention. It's where they were talking about that child, right? Where they said like, hey, there's no human born in like the last 1,000 years who was capable of holding like the knowledge of like past, future, and present, and be able to hold like his normal body, like functioning body. Yeah. I was like, dude, that makes so much sense, because I had a mushroom trip, and I always go back and I always talk about this all the time, where they showed me like the human brain is not capable, like our version of the human, our brain is not capable of holding this type of knowledge. So when kids are born, right, and they're able to actually hold the knowledge, the body cannot hold it. So that's why like the body is like non-functional, but the brain is still capable of holding that knowledge, right? But they're not able to speak it or tell people about all the wild stuff that's in their head. You know, because it's too much. Like our body wasn't designed to hold like these type of like knowledge or gifts or stuff like that. Like especially like telepathy. That's just like one thing. There's other stuff like be able to float, be able to do all these things, walk through walls or whatever. Like basically like a movie. And
control people's minds.
Yeah, that movie put that shit on the map for me. And then like when I heard the telepathy tapes, what these kids are capable of, I'm like, holy shit! Like this, it's a real thing. Like they're geniuses, but they're locked up geniuses.
Yeah.
But we don't know, because we just think they're just, oh, they just want ice cream. No, get the ice cream on my face. Yeah, there's this other story that I told you before, where this kid. He never read any Harry Potter's book. He never watched any Harry Potter's movie. But he knows every single character in the movie. He knows the whole story of Harry Potter. And then they asked him, they're like, hey, how do you know everything about Harry Potter, but you're never like, you never seen any movies or read books? And the kid said, My sister read the books, and I was just looking through her thoughts. Like, if she read it, I read it too.
I speed ran all.
Like, God damn, like, what else you know?
My God. Thought, especially while human thought moves. I don't think people realize how fast a human thought can move. It moves faster than anything you can do with your hands. But
exactly, yeah. I thought it's like way faster than light.
Speed ran like 8 books in like a second. Like, oh, boom, done.
Yeah, like imagine like reading a librarian's mind from the Vatican.
Ooh. Oh man,
your head will probably explode.
Right?
Yeah, their nose start bleeding. Like, what's happening to you? Like, you know, you start having a seizure or shit because you went into the wrong mind.
Yeah, you got too deep.
You accumulated like too many library books, and you don't have enough bookshelves to store that shit.
Man, no, not enough memory. Not enough RAM.
Goddamn, Chris Jones. It's too much. Like the books are like filling up the shelves, like in the other reality, like
just like
goddamn. Where were they hiding? Because you know yeah, they hide so many damn secrets and shit. The secrets are too dark. It cuts too deep.
They don't wash up, God. Blood. They wash up.
Yeah, blood comes out of the eyes. There is no God. All right, there's this other crazy story which blew my mind. So there's this place that people with autism talk about. People with autism, they say they're able to talk to each other telepathy, like in like a cloud. Like imagine like a cloud chat, right? And there's people that they never met in person ever, but they speak on the cloud. Like it's basically like you're talking in a chat room. But this is where people with autism or non-speakers, they're able to go to this location. They call it the hill, and they all call it the hill, which is crazy. And they say that there's over like 1,000 non-speakers that go there. Like, let's say this is just like a subreddit.
Right.
So there's like 1,000 people that go to this one subreddit where a lot of non-speakers, they go to, and they talk about everything. They talk about time travels. They talk about bees. They talk about the whole universe. They talk about everything. And this place, like this people describe, is they say it's like a place with no dimensions. They said it's like some type of grid that they go on. And people, non-speakers, they all know how to get there, like in their head. They're all speaking there, like they're all hanging out, just like a chat room, like a virtual reality chat room.
Connected to the source.
Yeah, they're all connected, like in their brains. And there's this one story where this guy, like he liked this one girl, right? But the girl doesn't even live in the same state. But they all spoke like telepathy, and the girl was able to convince the parents. The story might be kind of like off a little bit, but this is what happened. She was able to convince her parents to come to like a school in Georgia so she can, because she has autism and they want to have the best school for her. In Georgia, they have a lot of good schools for that. So then she ended up meeting like this dude there, and the dude, he already met them. Like as soon as she touched down and went to the school, he knew she was in the school.
Damn.
And long story short, they ended up going out.
Oh, okay.
Long story short, he ended up dying.
Oh shit.
Yeah. In a hot tub.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. The story is crazy. I would say, like, if you guys are interested about this, listen to the telepathy tapes podcast.
Was he drunk when he died in the hot tub? I heard that's a major reason why people drown in the hot tub.
No, he said it was gonna happen. Like it was all planned out. Dang, he said when it happened, everybody was in the right place, right time. Like the mom was busy, the dad was busy, and then he went, and that's what happened.
Damn.
Yeah. And then like the kids that all knew him, like on the hill, remember that little chat room?
Yeah.
They said like his living his life, because this dude was like, he's like over 6 feet tall, right? They said like he was big in this world. They call him like, I think like the soft giant, something like that, his nickname, or the gentle giant. And then they say like in the other reality, he is a super big ass giant. And he loves water and everything. They said he has his own house over there and just chilling, dude.
At peace.
Yeah, and that's like the crazy thing, like with this whole telepathy thing. Like these kids are able to communicate amongst each other. like without even knowing each other in the first place. And they all call the hill. They all meet up on this hill. And dude, like if you really believe this shit, go to sleep tonight, right? Imagine that hill, and then go play with them. Because I thought about this, dude. Like when I got real deep in the research, I was like, can I hang out with these kids? You know, dude, I had a dream that night where I was hanging out with them, and they're like kind of like playing rivals with me. Like it's weird. Like they were teaching me stuff. I was like, this is weird. Because this is like when we just got done playing rivals like for a long time. I was like, and then I ended up having a dream playing with them, playing rivals with them.
They're teaching you tips and tricks.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, what the hell?
Man.
Yeah.
It's like, that reminds me of, have you ever watched that sketch comedy show, Key and Peele?
Yeah.
They have like this one sketch. I can't remember the name of it. It's either called like, I think it's called like The Black Shining or something. So it's like in the sketch, this black dude, he gets like to his new workplace, and his boss, his white dude, is showing him around, and he like walks past this other black dude that's working in the office area. They look at each other, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, man? What's up?" And when he walk away, he's like, "Hey, can you hear me?" He's like, "The fuck?" And the black dude's like, "Hey, look, black people, we're all psychic, and we can communicate with each other." And it's like, and he can hear like Obama, like it's me, Obama, like, and then all these black celebrities popping up in his head. He's like, "Oh shit!" They got psychic link.
Yeah, I've never seen that episode.
It's hilarious, man. And he's like while he's like having all these conversations with like Morgan Freeman, like, "I'm Morgan Freeman." He's like, "Oh shit, Morgan Freeman." He's like, he says it out loud. And the white boss is like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just all right." And the black guy, the officer, was like, "Look, man, you gotta play it cool with the black shiny. You can't be, you can't be talking out loud. You're gonna look crazy."
Dude, imagine like some people that they're able like to pick up voices like that.
Right.
Which is it's these kids.
Right.
Yeah, they can't explain like their powers, because people, they wouldn't understand it. Like, hey, like you guys are actually the one that's handicapped, because you guys got to actually physically talk, physically write your emails out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know what's in your thoughts,
So you're using so much of your brain to operate your body, you forget you can use your brain to do more than that.
Yeah, like not only like with these kids with autism, but they're saying any like non-speaking person or animal, because they say animals have telepathy too.
I always wonder that, especially with dogs, man. They kind of.
I believe that shit. They definitely have telepathy. Like they communicate like in their heads. They look at you like, "Hey, motherfucker, figure out what I'm thinking about. Like, hurry up, use your damn head."
I would think cats more than dogs, man. Cat, you barely hear from a damn cat.
Dude, speaking of cat, Draco, Bob's cat, passed away yesterday.
Oh man, R.I.P.
Yeah, he was older than Jace.
Man.
Yeah, over 15 years.
Yeah, when you have a pet, I think once you have a pet past 10 years, it's family at that point. There's no longer, it's no longer a pet. It's actually a family.
I say after a year, it's family, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, I went down a list the other day with my aunts when they was in town. They was like, "How many dogs have y'all owned like since you was a child?" I was like, "Man, maybe 21. We've had like 20. We went through like 21 dogs in my house. Not even joking. So to get past 10 years in my house as a whole, it's like, yo, you a fucking vet.
21 animals.
You made it. Yeah. My dad always liked dogs. We always liked dogs. So it was like one would pass away or one would run away. A couple months we'd get another dog. So, man, yeah. So we'd be getting another dog. We stayed getting dogs. It's crazy.
Damn. Well, there's a story I have about an elephant. Where this guy, he was like really close to the elephants. Like he made them like a sanctuary where they can chill and stuff, where they can be safe. So this guy,
after they passed away,
huh?
Okay, I thought you said like after they passed away.
Yeah, well, after the guy, see, he was cool with the elephants, right? Really cool. Like the elephants love him. And then after the guy passed away, like these two different elephant herds from like tribes from far away, like hundreds of miles away, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't get the memo that, hey, this guy passed away, but the two different tribes, they all marched like towards his house. And it took them days and days to get there, right? But they actually got there on his funeral, and the elephants paid respect to that guy that took care of him on the day of his funeral. And like these are two different herds of elephants from far away, like 100 miles away apart and stuff. But they both got the call like, hey, our boy so-and-so just passed away. Let's go pay our respects.
Let's link up.
And they marched days and days, like over like a week just to get to the funeral. And they made it on time. They paid the respect. And the crazy thing about the story, like after the funeral, they left, right? And every year on that same day of his funeral, they all met up at his house, the elephants. So like there's something going on, dude.
It's beautiful. That's what they say. Like, what's that saying? An elephant never forgets.
Never forgets.
It's real shit, man.
Yeah.
It's like when that elephant killed that old lady.
Yep, I remember.
They killed her and then went to her funeral and then disrespected her some more. I was like,
she
man,
probably deserved it, dude. Because animals, they don't lie like that. And if he did that to her at the funeral and disrespected her like that, she probably did something so dark that, God be like, yeah, I'll pass. I'll give you that pass. You can rip her out of her grave.
I was like, I'll give you okay, cool. Yoink.
Yeah. Here's the golden hallway. They
said the elephant traveled like 20-something miles to get to that funeral where she was at. It's like, how the hell?
So that's really personal.
Yeah, man. But I do feel like I've seen this with dogs and cats, mainly because that's the only animals I've been around. But as far as like, I know they're really good at reading like human gestures and all that for the most part. But I think outside of that, it's more like all like cat on cat communication. Because cats will just be staring at each other and you'd be like, what are they saying? They ain't doing nothing. They're looking at each other from across the room.
And they mad and shit.
Right.
Like, what's the backstory? Because we're looking from the outside.
Right. I want to know more.
But yeah, that's all I got for that. Yeah, Draco. R.I.P. Draco.
R.I.P. Draco, man.
All right, I'm going to take a leak. We come back. Chris, you got some stories?
Yeah, I got some.
All right, be right back, guys.
Next story. All right, this story is sad and funny at the same time, but this disabled man out there in the UK, right across the pond, he actually won like $6,000 after cops ran up in his house, snatched him out the house, and threw him on the ground because it was a case of mistaken identity, right? There's this guy who's actually on this bus out there in London who's actually like a serial masturbator. Like he had some guy was on a bus that they caught on CCTV camera footage. He walked up to a woman on the bus and masturbated all over her.
Jeez.
And he ran off and then left. And so the public was on the lookout for this guy who I think was like 6 foot and some change, and he was a big guy and whatnot. And the guy that they actually beat up was this guy named Brent Naylor, who was the guy they went after, who's a disabled man. The cops went over to his house, threw him on the ground, put him in cuffs and whatnot. But he's 5'8", so he didn't even match remotely close to the description of him being the masturbator. And so he actually wound up suing the police department and actually wound up winning like a settlement for like $6,000 and like I think it's like 300 something bucks or whatever and 10 cents or whatever how much it was. But he did file a lawsuit because after, even though he was released from being wrongly accused and all charges were dropped because he was not the guy that was the serial masturbator, well, the public didn't care because only thing they saw that day was when he got thrown on the ground, he got put in cuffs, and all his neighbors saw it. Everyone saw it happen. So he's been constantly getting harassed ever since that moment of him, because everybody thinks he's the masturbator now. It's a crazy ass story, man. So the guy, Brent, he's actually disabled. He was assaulted and he was evicted from his house and even banned from his favorite pub after being handcuffed by 6 officers at his front door. And so he lost his house because his landlord was like, well, you're the guy that's the masturbator. He's like, no, it wasn't me. Like, please watch the news or something. But they didn't care, so he lost his house. And I think by the time they was doing this story with him, he was living out of his car or living at another location. But yeah, it's he was like times where he's like walking down the street. Actually, this happened like not too long after the charges were dropped. He's walking down the street. Somebody went and like slapped him upside the head with a damn beer bottle and knocked him unconscious. He didn't realize he was unconscious till he woke up in the hospital and he was laying in a pillow and he saw blood. He's like, "Oh shit! Like what happened?" Like,
somebody knocked you the fuck out.
Yeah, man, knocked his ass out in the street. And so Brent Naylor is actually saying like, "Well, if y'all have CCTV camera for, why did y'all attack me in the first place?" Which I'm not all happy about how AI works, but I'm starting to learn like. I'm starting to get more comfortable with AI. I think I'm trying to hold it down to like, hey, if anything happens with AI, it will be the fault of the humans, not so much the AI. But I think with cases like this, they need to start using more like facial recognition instead of just going off of eyes on a camera. It was very weird. I saw the camera footage and the guy they locked up, and it looks not even remotely close to the same two people. But I guess when the cops ran up in there and actually after they threw him on the ground, they went through his whole house, tore that shit apart. It was like, okay, we didn't find nothing, and they just left him there, and then eventually, released him and whatnot. The guy the thing is too, the cops never had any blood or semen samples from the perpetrator that did this mess. So that's another reason why the cops are being extra aggressive, because I heard from my understanding about the story, the cops were really pissy that they didn't collect the evidence. So they was just going around trying to find anybody. And so the cops are saying that, hey, we got a call from an anonymous person saying that it was Brett Naylor that did it and he lived at this address. But we never found out who the person was or anything.
But they got his ass.
Man, lit his ass up. So he'd be like walking down the street, people throwing shit at him.
If somebody ejaculated on her face, right? How would you save the evidence personally? Like, what would you do?
I don't know. Like, I gotta hold the evidence in my mouth. Ow, no, I don't. A napkin, I guess. Like, I'm not gonna eat it. I was like, oh fuck! I don't know what I would do. I would kill them. They wouldn't need the DNA. I would kill them, and then I'm like, oh, there's blood everywhere. I just rip them apart.
Damn.
There's enough DNA to go around.
So you would have got in more trouble than he did.
I think I could have got away with it in court though, because especially I don't know if this man got AIDS or what the hell is in his damn blood. I don't know what he got. That's like when people spit in other people's faces, and that person did the spitting because their ass stomped out, and I'm like, well, I don't know what you got. You can't still transmit diseases that way. Like years ago, this cop got spit in the face by this homeless lady. Spit in her face, and then the cop was like, "Oh shit!" Washed the face off. Never got checked out. She died like 6 months later. Found out she had tuberculosis, and she got it from the homeless lady. So I don't play with that. I don't play with that. To me, that's like you. That's almost the equivalent of you pulling out a knife on me. You spit on me, and there's gonna be. I think it's more humiliating if anything. Shit.
Slow death, huh?
Yeah. So if you gonna pull your dick out and masturbate, I hope you enjoyed it, because I'm about to feed you your dick. I'm gonna rip that shit off and be like, ugh.
Yeah, you can kill me, but your eyeballs got AIDS.
Right.
Old pink.
Yeah. So yeah, the guy's because he's going through some shit right now. He's saying that he actually can't even because he has like the reason why like his disability is that he has disability in his joints. He's had them his entire life, so his joints are always like hurting and whatnot. And so also too, the reason why he sued the cops too, because he could never straighten his arms out again because they had him cuffed behind his back for so long. His arms are kind of like stuck like this now, kind of like
damn.
You can never stretch them out, man. But man, I don't know. Maybe we should trust AI to do this shit. If these cops are gonna fuck it up, I don't know.
Dude, AI is scary, man.
Yeah, yeah. Brett Naylor. That was a short story right there. Just y'all be careful out there, man. And anytime I hear crime going on, and I see a black dude on the news, I ain't going out the house anyway. So I'm gonna stay here till this shit cool over, because they get confused real quick. No sir. So.
There he is.
Yes, but that is
White Camry, get him.
What Jesus?
Line him up.
White Camry, throwback right there.
The white Camry, come on.
That's it right there. Yeah, but that's it for that story.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about this story. Let's see. Oh yeah, Cali woman. This lady got scammed by this guy who's a person named Keanu Reeves.
And I heard about this.
This goddamn story it was crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess authorities have started to call this type of scamming called love bombing. And so this lady a 67-year-old woman out in California thought she got in touch with Keanu Reeves. And it's crazy how it happened, because she first got scammed by a guy that was pretending to be Keanu Reeves, and she kind of like she sent him like $500, even though he's asking for money. Cause like, oh yeah, because it's for my charity and stuff like that. It's just okay. I'll send him $500. So she sent him $500. Then she realized over time when he was talking, she's like, "Hey, let me hear your voice. I want to hear your voice." And so they did contact with each other through audio, and she heard his voice. It's like, "Oh my God, you're not Keanu Reeves." And the dude like hung up on her, and then she lost $500. Now, this lady, I forget her damn name. I forget her damn name. But this lady who was involved in this situation, her last name is Goodson. That's the only thing I can remember her last name as being like Goodson. Miss Goodson, she fell for this game at first, and she's like, you know what? I learned my lesson. I'll never do this again. Wrong. She gets scammed again by another Keanu Reeves, or maybe the same one. So another Keanu Reeves comes into the picture, and he's like, he messengers. It's all through Messenger. He messenger and says, hey, I'm sorry that somebody used my name to steal money from you. I really am sorry about that. And they go back and have conversations with each other for years, back and forth.
Damn.
And eventually, fake new Keanu Reeves lies to her, tells her he loves her. Can you send me some money here and there? And over time, she gave him maybe $5,000 or some shit over time. And then I guess when her money ran out, because you got into her life savings too, giving him constant money. So when all the money dried up, that's when Keanu Reeves got upset and was like, it's arguing back and forth with her, and then eventually just cut her off. So then she spent so much money on this new Keanu Reeves that she actually lives out of a car now. This lady spent so much money that she can't do anything right now but live out of a damn car. Man, all you old heads out there, please. Actually, she says it says right here, it says actually over like the following years, Ms. Goodson has sent Keanu tens of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin, gift cards, and hard to track transfers. But I don't like letting people borrow money anyways, even if I know you. So what the hell, Keanu Reeves? You gonna send this man tens of thousands of dollars?
Crazy, dude.
Yeah,
you think, I guess with the whole celebrity thing, it makes people trust them a lot more than like a normal person.
I think for maybe some older people, it seems like the people that fall for this are like the older generation. I'm pretty self-aware. I'm not saying I know the life of a celebrity, but I know if you rich and you got a schedule, your ass ain't gonna be on no social media. I could promise you that. Social media is for the normies.
They don't even do their social media. They have somebody doing their whole social
else
media.
running. Yes. Yeah. So off top, I'm like, nah, you contacted me. I'm not talking to you, whether they work for you or not. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to somebody else is doing.
Like they gotta go through like 2-3 people before you even meet the person.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just have easy access to these people. Shit. Not all these damn lunatics running around.
With all that shit that they have to go through.
Yep.
But damn, like I think like I was saying, like if it was like a celebrity face, they'd be more nicer to them. Like if they believe like that's actually like Chris Brown or that's actually Keanu Reeves. Like if they believe that, they would be more comfortable sending them money because like, oh yeah, okay, Keanu Reeves, I trust you. Like I know you wouldn't do me wrong. Let me just send you this money.
Right. I loved you in Speed. Why would I not send you money?
Yeah, like that's crazy, and it's happening like the old folks. They're getting scammed so easily. That's why they're like target market for scamming.
Right? They say right now in American history, we live in America. Right now in America, this is the biggest period where there's like a jump in like homeless people, and they're all elderly. They're saying it's happening at an alarming rate. Damn. That old folks are being homeless right now, and it's scary because a lot of them will get caught up in scams. Like I know there's one like white lady. Like I was listening on his podcast earlier this year. She had sent donations to like. She assumed that it was like from Trump. Like she got an email from like Trump or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if it was any connection to like what he was doing, trying to scam her, or if it was actually somebody trying to be like Trump. But either way, though, she wound up sending like hundreds thousands of dollars to his account because the account was like, "Hey, this is Donald Trump, and I need you to save America, and I need money, and yada yada yada." And as soon as she sent her money to the scammer, periodically they started taking money out of her account. Over that because they already get somehow they want to get access. As soon as she sent them the money, boom, they was able to get access to her account. And there's like at first it was like maybe $300 here, $30 here. Sometimes it'd be like $70, $5, but it was slowly being drained out. And so with the lady who did the scam, when she wound up dying, she never knew that she was being scammed the whole time at all. Her children had to find out when they was like trying to get her, all her affairs in order. They was like, why she got all this debt? They was like, because her account was being. Somebody was taking money out of her account, and they come to find out it was a scammer. Even after she was dead, they were still taking money out of her account until there was nothing left. And so she wound up dying broke, and so the family was like, oh my God, her life savings and everything. How can we pay for a funeral? if we can't afford to pay for any of this. And
Ooh, that's scary, dude.
man, it's horrifying, man. It's like, what does the future look like for us? I could pick out a scammer in a heartbeat, so I don't really fall for that stuff. But
yeah,
criminals don't
same.
sleep, and scams are born every day. So
Yeah, I'm worried about the old people.
yeah, I'm more worried about them right
Yeah,
now.
like
Yeah,
my
yeah,
parents
yeah.
too. Like they're very vulnerable to the scams. I think they got scammed like last year, like where somebody was coming door to door saying they had some insurance something with food and we'll give you food every month or some shit like that. And then my
Mm-hmm.
dad, he got sucked into that shit. He didn't
Man,
know. Cause my dad, he like talking to strangers. Like
yeah, my dad
if
got
you're a telemarketer calling him on the phone, dude, he's gonna talk to you for like hours. Good
man
luck,
scam
scammers.
likely, scam likely. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
you
like
are.
we say, what exactly are you selling?
Yeah,
Describe in detail.
but I don't answer any numbers I don't recognize. That's why I got a voicemail. Send it to the voicemail, and then I'll get back to you
Right.
if it's actually something legit. But I don't answer no
Yeah,
phone
dude, I
calls
got over
ever.
300 missed calls.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's
No doubt.
important, you better leave a voicemail.
If it ain't
A
important,
good one, too, because I don't even look at voicemail unless that shit look legit.
I'm more likely read my voicemails because like talking is
Yeah,
a
it's text
lot
to
longer than
speech.
reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, go to speech. I'm gonna read them. Okay, this ain't nothing. Boom, delete. But man, yo, these like man, there's a nasty. Me and my sister talking about last week how there's a massive increase in like elderly homeless people in America. It's
That's
what?
sad, man. That's why old people shouldn't be on the internet.
My dad fell for some scams before too. Me and my mom was like, stop playing. Like when you get these emails, stop playing these little Wheel of Fortune games, and you winning like, hey, you can
Oh,
win
shit.
$500. Don't do that. We had to break it down to my dad one time. We was like, please stop. They got access to your account now, which they did.
Damn. Yeah, yeah.
My mom, she
It's
don't fall for that. My
it's
mom's more like
actually
internet savvy.
it's very common, dude. Super common. That's why the internet is a dangerous place for the
Hell yeah.
elders. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it's
There's another
almost like a new
thing.
playground for them, and they don't understand it because we were there from the beginning, so we know how they play and shit.
Because
They
they thought it
don't
was
know
like
that
internet.
yet. They don't know like, oh, the nice voice on the internet. That's not a nice voice. That's someone that's trying to get into your bank account.
Honestly, you should have been on the internet back in the earlier days. It was less crazier.
Yeah, where they're like, guess what? You won a sweepstake. Blah blah blah. Like bullshit.
See,
Nobody won
my mom,
nothing.
she like my mom, she's like pretty on top of computers and stuff, and she can see a scam a mile away. So when she sees stuff like that, it's like spam, da da doom, this and this and this. You know, my dad wasn't falling for it. My mom was like, "Why would you click on that?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"If she
your
telling
mom's
you,
smart.
it's a
Yeah,
problem. That's a
yeah. I look
problem."
very close at every single email before I even click on it. I look at the damn font. I look at everything.
Man, straight up, I learned that in IT school right now. How to spot a
I
damn
like, oh, this
spam
ain't no
email.
font that they use. So
This is a
get out of my
DDoS. I don't
face.
know. Spell bank with an X. This don't look
Yeah,
right.
it's like no, and I have a missing package. I didn't even order nothing.
Fuck. But I get that all the time too. You have a package waiting for you at the UPS warehouse. I'm like, you a damn lie.
So yeah, for
Why are you lying
real.
to
Like,
me?
oh well, if
Uh,
it's a package, let it stay there.
all right, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Ain't mine. And I got one more quick story, then I'll be done for the
All
night.
right, all right.
So we can. This goes back to. Did you hear about this? The Pizzagate gunman, Edwin Madison Welsh. He just got smoked by the cops the other day.
I
Shot him.
haven't heard of that.
Shot him on a traffic stop. It was crazy. Now,
Like they knew it
see,
was him before they shot him.
that's the thing. They pulled him over because he wasn't actually. The story is that he was driving and he wound up pulling off to the side of the road. Now, well, let me start from the beginning. Anybody who's not familiar with Edgar Madison Welsh, he's involved in the whole Pizzagate thing back in like 2016 or some shit.
Right.
Thought it was like a whole kid Peter thing going on, yada yada yada. Well, recently out in I think it's up in North Carolina somewhere, he was actually driving. Actually Charlotte, yeah. So he was actually up. Actually, he wasn't driving. He was in the passenger seat of a pickup truck with a friend. Cops ran the tags, and they realized like, oh shit. I don't think they realized who he was, particularly like in reference to Pizzagate. But he actually was on. He was actually a warrant out for his arrest because he violated some probation that he was already on. So while he was on probation, he's out there doing what my motherfuckers be like. People that violate probations have a habit of leaving the house a lot, thinking that they're gonna keep dodging the law. And so when he got pulled over by the cops pulled him over, and they talked to the driver at first, and then once the driver realized, like, oh shit, the guy in the passenger seat, Edgar Welsh, he actually has a warrant out for his arrest. I'm gonna call for backup. So they called for backup. 2 more cops showed up, and then when they got there, when the cop was kind of like, all right, open up the car door for him. The passenger side door was like, hey sir, we need you to step out the car, which they crazy as fuck. I used to be a cop. If any of you ever come up on a car that has a warrant, you don't open up the car door for them to get out. You pull your guns out and have them get out the door. Like, hey, drop your keys out the window. Right. Open the door from the outside. Keep your hands in the air. Your back facing towards me. Back up. Till I tell you to stop. And then get down on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. That's how you can get them at a disadvantage. So why the cop opened up the damn door for him, I don't know. But the cop opened the passenger door for him, and that's when he put out a gun. And Edgar just aimed a gun at the cops or whatever, and there was a standoff. And eventually they just lit his ass up after that. That was crazy. It's wow. So I guess that's it for his story. But yeah, that seemed like they give him a lot of chances though, because I've seen people get shot for just they won't even go up to the car. They'll just shoot up the car and then drag your ass out later. So they give him enough time. They give him a lot of leadway, but yeah, I get right.
Was that this year?
What was this? This is January 10th.
Damn.
It just happened last week. Let me see where we at. Week before last.
22nd.
Yep. So 2 weeks ago, a little bit over 2 weeks. Damn. That's it for him now.
Damn. Wow.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy behind it or not. Who knows right now, man? This country done lost its damn mind. So
who really knows?
Who knows? But yeah, that was it for that story. I just want to run that through because I was like, oh, what? I was like, okay. And I never knew what the guy looked like, to be honest. So I saw a picture of him. I was like, oh, okay. That's what he looked like.
What did he look like?
White dude with the typical beard and that you would think somebody with an AR-15 would have.
Oh, yeah.
There's a picture of an AR-15 with a black shirt and
he probably owns an AR-15.
Yeah. I can see it in his
beard. Scruffy beard. Like you know how they say like people they look like their careers and stuff. If you think about it, I look at a firefighter. I was like, you look like a firefighter, dude. Or I look at a cop. Like, yeah, I was like, you build like a cop. I thought about it. I thought like with me, I was like, I don't look like I'm in any career. That's why I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You look like maybe like a freelancer or DJ. I don't know.
Yeah. Or a hippie.
Something cool. Something cool. Not middle management.
Or a drug dealer.
Damn.
Like, damn, you look like a drug dealer.
What do I look like I do for a living? IT.
Sell drugs, too.
Both sell drugs.
They help me sell these drugs.
Okay. So.
Let's get it. And say we do IT for a living.
Right.
But we sell drugs. That's where the real money.
Hell yeah.
All right, we got to stop this before we get in trouble.
Yeah, right? Damn. I'm trying to get a job one day.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us for the first episode for 2025. Are we good for next week?
Yeah.
What day you want to do?
We can do Wednesday again. It's easy for me to do the show on Wednesday.
Okay, we can start doing it on Wednesday. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, because when I do Tuesdays, I get out of class at 2 o'clock. The podcast out here starts at 4 o'clock for me. So I have I start setting up like maybe 20 minutes before we start. So I maybe like an hour and change to chill before I'm like back on the computer again. My brain hurts already from looking at the computer for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's tight. Yeah. All right, we can do Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll catch you guys next week on Wednesday. Peace out. Adios.
Peace. See you guys.